had a very normal childhood. My mom picked me up one day early from school and basically said, "We're leaving." We had none of our stuff, and that was the day everything changed. We went to a friend of hers house and then ended up in the shelter in Washington. It was just chaos, constant looking over your shoulder, like the happy childhood family that you thought you had is completely demolished. My mom and I and my brother lived a normal life without my dad for a while, and then eventually he came back into the home and back into our lives. After that, my dad was incarcerated, and I remember going to one of the hearings and hearing some of the things that had happened. My mom was held at gunpoint while we were asleep, and it was after he had already gotten out of jail. We had a big birthday party for my son, and my parents were just not themselves. My mom was real on edge. My dad was really agitated. My mom said she had gotten sick. We didn't really, I would get text messages from her, but she didn't call or anything like that. And then I got a phone call the night that my dad was arrested at the credit union from my mom, explaining what had gone on. Basically that she was held at the house for about 12 days and abused. At that point, my dad was in jail, so she kind of had some sense of safety, but that didn't last long. He was later bailed out that day. That was when everybody's pure panic set in. You know, I kept my son home from school because both my parents were on the emergency contact list to be able to get him out of school. My husband stayed home from work to make sure that his family was safe. You know, you don't know. You expect the worst. You plan for the absolute worst. And they called and said, you know, they found a pair of pants hanging out of a barn window. They think it's your parents. Do you want to come over? Everybody was there. There were SWAT team and cop cars and reporter vans, and everyone thought that they were alive, but the 3 gunshots went off right before I got there. So knowing now, no, they weren't. I am angry. I try not to hold on to the anger. I genuinely believe that my father was sick, that no person in their right mind would do these things. There are avenues to get out, and it's terrifying, and it's probably the scariest thing you will ever do in your life. There are so many organizations and even people in general that are there to help you, that do not want you to end up in a similar situation. There's no reason that they should have put a violent offender on an ankle monitor meant for someone that has a problem with drinking and driving. Everyone can only do their job to the best of their ability and their judgment, and they thought they were making that judgment call. No judge would make a call that they thought was going to get someone hurt. He thought he was doing what was in the best interest, and unfortunately his judgment call was not the greatest at that time. Do I blame him for my mom's death or my dad's death? No, I don't. There was one person that pulled the trigger that day, and no one can be blamed for those actions other than him. My mom was the best mom. She would do anything for anyone. She was an amazing woman that's leaving a legacy behind.